Hey everyone, it's Tuesday night again. You know what that means, don't you? It's time to join Mike and Kristie for another episode of Where's My Sage? A show hosted by a psychic medium and a guy on a quest to find Bigfoot. Who would have thought? Together, they will take you on all sorts of adventures, and not with lots of different people. Kristie even gives readings. It's time to sit back, get up and get ready. You can't sample the universe sitting down. Your hosts are waiting. Come on, let's go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Where's My Sage? A Taste of the Universe. I'm Mike with my wonderful co-host, Kristie London. How are you doing this evening, Kristie?
I'm struggling at the moment, but otherwise I'm okay. How are you?
Hey, I'm not doing too bad. We're coming in, we're getting life going, and it's been a crazy couple of weeks for us, and we're just rocking some things on. Good evening, Melissa. So we're coming to you tonight from a couple different locations. Again, we're moving ourselves over to YouTube and Anchor, putting us out to all the different podcast locations. So if you're tuning in and got to tune out later and want to just kind of listen to our audio later on, like tonight, it's going to be more of an audio show. You can find us over at your favorite podcast locations, or find those old video versions over on YouTube. So been heavy to getting that stuff in. So so what else? What's new? I mean, what's going on your end? And
let's see. What did I do? What have I been doing? Well, work. And but then again, they say if it, you enjoy what you do and you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, whoever made that, whoever said that never worked with you.
No, I'm a horrible pain in the neck sometimes.
I'm teasing. But so doing that, it's been really, really nice. And Buffalo, Niagara, Rochester area. So we've been really lucky with some like really hot days. And I am not going to complain because, as y'all know, summer will be over soon and the Buffalo weather will be here before we know it. And there's just no way. I'm not ready for the cold and the S word yet. So I'm enjoying every minute of it. So I get to get out with my mother and my two daughters, and we went blueberry picking this week, which was fun. Really nice place. So a lot of good blueberries too. And I was surprised. Every year we always say, we're going to go strawberry picking or blueberry picking or whatever. And then, you see it on Facebook and, I kind of just, we have time. And before you know it, I'm catching it at the end of the season when there's really like nothing left or it's over. And then my kids are like, what the heck, Mom? So this year I was on top of it, right? I was like, okay, I saw it. It was great. My aunt and a few of my cousins went, and I'm like, we're going to go to this place. It's like an hour away, but it looks great. We're going to do this. So excuse me, I called and made sure they were even still open. Good thing I did because we put it off for a couple of days. Way to go, Tanya. So, good thing I called because we were going to maybe put it off because of the weather. And the lady says, well, you pick ends tomorrow. And I said, wait a minute. I said, hold on. You didn't. I said, it feels like, the season just started like 2 weeks ago. And she laughed and she was like, it did. She says, but because of the lack of rain, it cut back on the second growth of everything. And she said, so unfortunately, UPIC has to be done so they can continue to pick what they do have coming in for, private sales, big sales, or whatever orders, things like that. I was like, oh my God, I'm finally on top of my shit. And look what happens. But I'll tell you, it's called Empire Farms. Yeah, get the ticker out, whatever. I don't want to hear it. But wow, amazing blueberries. Like seriously, guys, they were huge. And my oldest daughter, Abby, is picky. So she's like, I don't like the ones that are big and fat and sweet. I like the ones that are kind of like small and medium, and they have to be tart because I put them in my yogurt. I said, okay. So we were like putting berries in each other's baskets. But no, it was fun. It was good. It was hot. It got really, really, really hot when we were there because we had to go in the afternoon. But
I got to see if they've got a Bigfoot sightings. They're always saying Bigfoot sightings near blueberry patches, and maybe Hey,
What?
Tanya's got a little comment in here. I just want to throw out here. She says, "Want to tell everyone who doubts
Oh.
Kristie she's beyond accurate. Ask my appendix." That doesn't sound good that you came up with that. So I don't need you picking on that crazy
Thank
stuff.
you.
You know?
I know. I'm so sorry. I got this text from her after the reading show, and she's like, "You are not going to believe it." She goes, "We're supposed to have this party," and she goes, "No, I can't because I'm in the hospital with my appendix, and that's why you told me to slow down and chill out and not do too much." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Oh, get yourself well soon.
Yes, and but
Not
hey, you
mess
made
with
it there. You were good, and that's all that mattered. So, hello. So, what else? Oh, what else? We had just
Yeah.
investigation. We worked last night.
Yep.
So we're both kind of dragging. Today.
Yeah,
It's been a long
been
night.
crazy,
But, yeah.
you know.
Nonstop.
Oh, thank you, Lori, for joining in. We got a new viewer over on YouTube.
Hello.
So, yeah, it's been kind of crazy. The universe does some weird stuff, puts us together with interesting folks, and I came home from work the other day and went to sit down after working 12 hours and being up since midnight, and heard the dogs barking at something in the backyard, and found this poor stray cat that was blind and didn't know what to do and had heat stroke and everything else. So I started trying to call every rescue and pull out every string of everybody I knew, and reached out to a couple of our friends, and everybody was at a loss on who was available. None of the rescues were open on the weekend, and ended up
That
saying,
really bothers me.
well, yeah, and
I mean, weekend is like when people really need it.
yeah, and so finally I couldn't see this kitten, or cat. She was a year old. We found out eventually. Packed her up, took her to the local emergency vet, who, there's a whole nother story on that, but found out the cat was chipped. And when I looked at it, went through, and it was able to get to the cat, and she realized that I was not trying to eat her. Let me pet her and everything else. You could see her claws were, clipped, and, she was semi well kept, but, looks like she'd been hit by a car. They found Chip. But the next day, one of our friends who works for Humane Society got me some info, and there's an amazing program, and I just forgot the name of it again. So let me pull the name of it up again. It's 24-hour pet watch. Well, there's a couple of variants on that, so I wanted to make sure I had the exact one. But it's 24-hour pet watch. I got to give those folks awesome props, because within 5 minutes of giving them a call, explaining that we had a cat, we had the chip number, they had us connected to the owner, and we were able to get in touch. And she was a year old, and she'd been missing for 3 days. And the owner was beside herself. So we were lucky to get her home. So, it's amazing the folks that we meet in our journey, and those people we keep. And we've got a couple of our friends that actually, work in animal rescue and everything like that. And everybody was just
jumped right on it. We have some very amazing people in our circle. We're very, very blessed. Yes.
And being able to get out there, I mean, he reached out to local law enforcement. Everybody was at, call these numbers. These are the numbers you're supposed to call. And nobody answered. Even them calling some of the back numbers, the numbers that are out in the public, we still couldn't. So I got to give a lot of props for anyone working in animal rescue and putting their time out there, because there are still a lot of great ones that are out there. But man, when those shelters and stuff like that are looking for a little extra cash, help them out, because there's not a lot of places or whatever. I mean, dropping emails to people. So I went from midnight one night to almost 1 o'clock the next day before I got home.
And how much sleep did you get before we had to go out?
Not enough. I'm going to put that seat down a little bit there. We're sitting up too high. Go out and try to do a private investigation, try to help some folks out. But yeah, it's kind of there. But being half awake and trying to do things and sitting out at dinner, we kind of came up with a topic for tonight's show. So, I mean, it's a perfect segue to that.
Right.
You know, as I'm staring at a dinner menu going, what am I going to do? You know, let's talk fried bologna sandwiches. I know we're a spiritual show. We've had, you know, Chef Tila on talking about memories and food and that kind of thing. But, you know, I look at the menu and you're like, man, what's the one thing you don't order when you go out? But middle of the night or when nobody's looking and you're there and your scrubbiest clothes are all torn up. Yeah, you're making that fried bologna sandwich. And it's just one of those memories you really can put back to friends and family and the kind of thing. And, you know, and, you know, joking about fried bologna is that, you know, you go out some fancy restaurants. I've been in with some great friends and there's that $150 fried bologna sandwich on there, you know, and you're like, what's up with this? You know, but it's fried bologna on, you know, good old Wonder Bread and a bottle of Dom Perignon or something like that, you know. But it really got us thinking, and how many of you guys can remember that food or that smell that kind of reminds us and that message that comes in? So how many times are you walking around the house and you smell those butter cookies or that steak roasting or something like that? And I mean, Kristie, when folks pick up on that stuff, I mean, we're from your side of the spiritual realm. I mean, what do you get on that? I mean,
it's like food for the soul, you know. They really. It's funny because Tim on his show, Tim Shaw has his show right before ours. For those of you who don't know, the Black Cat Lounge.
Watch it. I was on a couple weeks ago. Kristie was on a couple months ago. Hey, we love Tim. He's amazing.
Tim's awesome. And actually, I got in there and asked for a card pull, and he did it for me. So thank you, because that was wonderful. I appreciate it. So yeah, but you know, it's different for everybody, especially like working from my side of the tracks on this one. Tim was talking about how for him, it's more like the essence. When the clairs are kicking up for him as far as like smells go. For me, I can experience the essence of the smell or actually get a whiff with my nose, like really and truly makes me feel like I'm in the room. But it can happen both ways for me. So, and usually it is more the essence of, because I'm picking up on the energy or tapping into that dimension or whatever you want to say when I'm channeling. But, you know, it's different, but it takes you back, and it just, you know, it's the foods and really anything we experience, right? But the foods that we used to have, and, you know, the things we used to do, the ways we used to make it, the ingredients that goes in, becomes so much a part of us, you know, that it brings you back to these certain times. So I can experience things sometimes where I'm smelling, whether it's something literal, and I'm smelling it with my nose, or if it's like the essence of the energy that I'm picking up more, like with my third eye inside. It brings you back, and it helps you to make an association. And it's a way that the energy or the spirit can help you to associate with what they're trying to tell you, which can happen a lot. And with readings, you know, they'll refer back to something, whether it's my dental background, you know, or something that I personally went through, so that I can better explain the message they're trying to relay. And that, you know, the smells and the food and everything all play a part in it. It was kind of cool. I feel like the universe actually really brought this around, because you had the whole bologna sandwich thing going on, and I had a family reunion this weekend. And my great aunt and uncle just recently celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. And so it was a big deal. It was really nice to have them there. And have them there. They helped run it with their other daughter. So my cousin. So it was amazing. But they didn't know that Susie and Michelle had planned to speak and say something, and they brought them a cake and the whole bit, and gave some people a chance to speak, you know, and reminisce about those things. And some of the memories that came up were about the food and her garden. And, you know, the things like my Uncle Eddie used to make pancakes. So when I would sleep over there, when I was a kid, when one of the cousins would watch me, I'm glad he was home. It was pancakes on the griddle in the morning. It was amazing. And he also makes this amazing chili hot dog sauce that he only now makes for the reunion, or at least that's when I get to have it. It used to be more when we were younger, but just those things, or like smelling the fresh onion and garlic with the olive oil in the pan because my grandmother, my aunt, or my mother was making, a meal. So it's one of those things where I think we pick up on it, or spirit brings it to us so that we can go to that place to get the true feeling and the true meaning behind the message. So, yeah.
So I'm wondering, for our audience, I mean, how many folks have been wandering through the house or walked into a place and just you pick up that smell or you get that memory? I I go into certain Italian markets and the hits of those spices and stuff like that just reminds me of my grandparents. And, you feel like you're walking down like you were a 5-year-old kid, okay, I need to go over here and get the sesame candies, or I need to pick up, these specific things. So I have to go home and make it. You're not making it like that. So, I just wondered how many folks have that connection with certain foods, or certain foods that just kind of jump out at them. And I mean, that's kind of where we're going, because I think tonight, and when we were talking about this, is the connection we have, and how many of us actually miss those messages that are right there in front of us, or that waking up to bacon, and does it put you back in summer camp? And do are those little things that we miss and we don't pass on to a different generation, because that was what it is. You take your niece and nephew for a burger at your favorite spot, or is there somewhere you take your friends? So if you guys have any thoughts on that, drop it in, because there's just certain things, like finding that right specific go, but Josh, this is a smell, and he says it sounds weird, but every once in a while I smell cigarettes and I can sense my mother.
Yeah,
and,
it's not
and
weird, not at all.
and for some reason, and that's an interesting thing, because tobacco seems to pop up with a lot of one offerings to smells. A lot of folks that Kristie, you brought up a couple of times, the different tobacco smells. Is it a pipe smell? Is it a cigar? Is it a cigarette? And that's just and it's used in ritual. So why is that tobacco kind of pop up there? So,
and for people, just to back up for a second, sorry guys, my allergies are awful. You notice he said every so often, or every once in a while. He didn't say all the time, because a lot of people will say to me when I explain something like that, well, I smell cigarettes all the time, or whatever the case is. No, you're not always going to make that connection. It's like in the moment. You could have been to 5 different places and smelled that same smell, but you're going along your day, and then all of a sudden, boom, it kind of just hits you, and it kind of stops you, and you're in that moment, even if it's for a split second, you make that connection. That's the difference. So I'm glad you said it the way you did, because it shows that you're more aware, Josh, than you realize, that you're receiving that message or being in that moment with whoever's trying to deliver that message to you.
And again, I'll put that back up again, because it is very interesting when you look at some of those things. It's once in a while, but it's usually in a sterile environment. You're not a smoker. You're in there's nothing else around that odor would be standing right next to you, or back in the day where you could smoke everywhere. You walk in those spots. Okay, that's kind of weird. They've sterilized and whatever. I can remember working at a facility, and they had stopped smoking in that facility, of course, in 1999, and watching some guys, cleaning the walls and watching that tobacco come off. And I'm going, yeah, we're never, ever smoking again, and I'm like, what's this doing to your lungs?
I do. You know what? I didn't even think of this, but when I grabbed this particular one, I love these. I don't know if you guys, they're just dripping all over. The Smart Waters that have the essence of things in there. There's like a strawberry, blackberry one. This one's cucumber mint, or excuse me, cucumber lime. There's one that's like pineapple and something else. This cucumber one is one of my favorites, or it is like my favorite with the strawberry, because the cucumber reminds me of being at my grandma's house. And my mom always did it. My aunts, everybody all made the same stuff, but it's the grandma, so it's different. It's the fresh cucumbers out of the garden. She would sometimes leave the peel on, the skin on. And so to have that little bit of the bitter in the cucumber salad that she would make, that is why I like this so much, because I like that little bitter, and that's what it reminds me of. That's so funny, because I just grabbed one out of the fridge before I came in here.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about it.
And again, like I said, even the smells or something like that, and that's where kind of we're going tonight, guys, because I want you to really think about what's going on around you. This is kind of an open our senses kind of thing. So
Yes.
Chelsea's got, mothballs or pine sol. Think of my mother, and
Yes.
but that's just it. You can remember going into your grandparents because they put mothballs everywhere. I mean, there's one grandparent that's all you smelled going into the house were mothballs. And not just, it was like the whole house just was.
Or like the little dishes of potpourri, like my grandma.
Oh, these were dishes of mothballs. They weren't potpourri. Oh.
No, I was saying, but like people that was, back when you had a dish with potpourri in it, and that's how you, would, do it. It was, my grandma used to do that. Yeah.
So it's crazy. So yeah, Molly's got it too, where she says her mother was a heavy smoker, and random smokery places I will smell smoke, and it stops me right in my tracks. And I swear, and you kind of get that crazy feeling, and it's there.
When you're in the moment like that, you guys, don't doubt it. That is absolutely the person, usually, if not someone else or your spirit guides, trying to get your attention to say, I am with you. When you're making that connection with a specific person, it is that person letting you know, hey, I am here. And if you really can think back on some of the moments that you went through something like this, you might be able to remember what was going on in your day, how you were feeling, what was right or wrong, how you were emotionally. And if you can really think back and remember those things, sometimes you can make those connections and go, oh my gosh, that was a hard day for me. Or, oh my gosh, I got a promotion and really wish I could have told my mom. It's no different than if a song comes on the radio, that makes you make that connection or helps you to make that connection. Or you see like a picture, on a billboard driving by or whatever the case is. But food always has that it always brings people together, right? Especially back in the day before we were all so busy, we sat down together as a family. Families got together, extended families. It was a regular thing. People knew what was going on with each other and cared about what was going on with each other. And they weren't too busy. You knew family was important. It just
Sunday sauce.
Oh yes! Oh my God, I miss that.
Friday night, stuff. Yep. I mean, we just, every Friday night we're going for the fish fry. Family's going to get in the car. We're going to go for a fish fry. You met all your friends on Friday night. You saw the neighbors. You got the gossip. You got that. Those are just those things. So I'll come back to our hellos in a few because we're going to do a little bit more follow up. Chelsea says, oh my God, she would put them everywhere and potpourri pot. So,
right.
It's those little things that kind of pop up. Let's see. Unilizzy, 333. Sometimes I smell a wet dog, or smell wet dog, like a wet German Shepherd scent. I have no dogs. Now that's kind of interesting. I'm going to have to go out in the other room and smell what the difference is between the German Shepherd and the Doberman.
John's going to be like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
It's official business.
No, I don't think I've ever noticed a difference in their, I've had everything from miniature Doxies to Great Danes and Bulls and everything else over the years.
I find that interesting too, because you're right. Dogs usually smell like dogs. Not that they can't have a specific smell, maybe a little bit, but I mean,
All right, time out. I'll be right back.
Hell.
I'm gonna go.
Send in the German Shepherd. You just really popped off to do that, you guys. Oh my God. So anyway, back to that connection. So, it is very interesting that you make the connection specifically with one, breed of dog. So, for whatever reason that you're doing that, take that in and really let it be what it's going to be. and accept it for what it is, and just appreciate that moment, because that must be something that they're trying to show you or tell you. We all have these gifts, you guys. We all have them. We're all capable on some level. It's just, some of us are more open naturally. Some of us, just need a little help getting there. It doesn't matter. We're human. We all have it. We're all capable. And he really, really, and truly, I wish I could see the look on his wife's face. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So, it was cool because when we were at the family reunion on Sunday, after everything was all said and done, it was really awesome. My uncle was making, telling stories. Some of the family shared. Of course, I didn't have it in me to share because I would have cried, and then I would have. Okay. Anywho, Mike.
There is a difference. And it worked out perfect because they needed to go outside.
And then go smell the German Shepherd? Or what'd you do?
I grabbed Vita. Yep. Okay. Yep. That's it. Grab the Shepherd. Yep. Okay. And then they're looking at me like, we got to go outside. So it was perfect. Again, we are a pet friendly show. And usually the Munchkins occasionally are in here with me, but lately they have a thing about pushing my laptop shut when I'm sitting here. So,
so anyway, so I was telling my story about my cousin. So
did you feed up this though? The follow up?
No,
Grandma had a German Shepherd when I was young. So
very cool.
That dog might be, there. Saw a dog yesterday, man. That dog just wanted to be my buddy all day long. And, you could see it in his eyes like, hey.
Yeah. So listen, I'm telling my game story though. So it was really
my
nice.
bad.
People share, about how we used to go to the house and there was toys to play with and all these different memories. So my cousin David comes up to me afterwards and he's like, because I'm the oldest of all my first cousins, like I'm in my 40s, and my youngest first cousin is in her early 20s. So it's a big family. Lots of overlapping generations. So, we remember the most, especially way back to when everything was really going strong. So he's like, do you remember that game that they used to have in the basement? Now, mind you, these games and these toys that we were playing with were from the cousins that were 5, 6, 7, 8 years older than us. So I'm going, okay, yeah. And this is back in the 80s, And I said, which game? He goes, okay, I hear the buzzer in my sleep. It like haunts me. So you turn the dial and it had those little pieces and you had to try to put them in the pegs and the whole, and before the thing popped up and then it popped up, he goes, it drove me insane and it was just awful. And it haunts me to this day. And he's laughing. Neither one of us could remember it. I had to Google it. Do you guys remember the game Perfection? Perfection. You push the thing down, you turn the dial, and it's just whatever the hell that noise was, and it just I could just hear it, and I could feel it, as well as hear it. And David's laughing, going, "Yes, exactly." And it would pop up, and if you didn't do it in time, all the pieces would just fly all over the place. Do you remember that game? You're older than me. You better remember that game.
Yeah, I do. I was outside and play a lot of board games.
Well, but sometimes you couldn't always be outside, and you still needed those other, things to do as well. I mean, it's not like I was sitting there playing Nintendo. Holy cow! But those Jamie's
got a wooden version of it. Okay.
Oh, there you go. See, even the games, the memories that you have, and the place it brings you back to, food for the soul. He was really excited. It was really cool to talk about that with him and remember and go back and remember, relive that with him. We both kind of shuddered.
Right.
It was like playing Operation. Every time I hit this, I just couldn't, never could do it.
Well, I mean, those things, I didn't play cards, but how many people sat around with grandma or grandpa and played cards, maybe at Uno or Pinochle or something like that, and I guess that's my point for tonight is we're missing some of those signs that are right there in front of us, and I apologize for Vita barking in the background, but again, we're pet friendly and she's outside and it's time for the coyotes to start moving through the neighborhood. So I get from Debbie, I get those kind of signs all the time with repeated colors, numbers, scents. But at times when someone is in my heart at that moment, it's crazy. Yeah, it is. I mean, absolutely. And that's my point is that we come across those things that are there. So hi Colette, she's back over in the
Hi.
UK. So I'm just gonna grab a couple quick hellos. I know there's some hellos with some questions on some readings, and I don't know if we're gonna hit direct readings tonight, but I think it's more hi Amy.
Something pops out at me.
It just jumps. It's more. I want you guys to look at what's around us because we're missing. So Adelia, Letitia, Jamie, Kimberly, Becca, Lori, and Susie. So good evening to all of you.
Hello, hello, hello.
If the stuff is right there in front of us that we miss, the smell of the colognes and stuff like that. So Lori, it's a fun game. We always had as a game night to do it with our grandkids. It brings back a lot of memories, and it's a good, Jamie's got it right.
Yes,
Give your time to meditate and listen. We really are missing, and again with losing some friends over the last couple of weeks, this cat thing I think has kind of helped. So I've got like double fences in my backyard, and this cat comes into my backyard, and it's inside a double fence, and where I found it in the clump of bushes, this cat looked exactly like the last cat I had. Now, go back longer than that, back 10 years, and
maybe longer.
Yeah, longer than that. Again, different group of dogs, and they're barking in the backyard, the same spot, and I go out there, and there's a cat, and I think it's my cat. And I reach down, pick it up, get bent on top of my head, and I walk in the door, and I hear meow, and I'm like, that's not good. And I turn around, and behind me is my cat. I look at the cat in my hands, and they look exactly the same. So why do I have two stray cats show up in my yard in the exact same place, look like my former cats? And unfortunately, that one we were able to, took us a couple of days, but we were working with a shelter at the time, so we were able to get that one out quicker.
Oh, that's good.
But after weeks of antibiotics because of this thing biting me on the hand. But those little things of why does the universe put certain things in certain spots? It's really weird. I'm going to go with Denise's thing here because this is going to go along with that kind of stuff that, when I'm in bed at night, I feel a dog jump on my bed. No more dogs in our house. I get that every so often. Like I said, we had one cat that was really close to us. Yep. And every so often I'm like, what just sat on the end of the bed, and it's like, okay, there's no coincidences.
Right. Yeah.
And we really got it going here. Colette's saying now, I get a song that comes on the radio when I'm thinking of my dad. It's a song that reminds me of my dad. I mean, those different stimulations that we get are there. There's
they're working
always
with our senses.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a funny Instagram meme today or something like that I was going through. I think I sent it to you. What's your soundtrack? When you're in thing. And it was just crazy, like another one, Bites of Dust and Highway to Hell. So what is your soundtrack your friends are going to play at your funeral? And I'm like, you know what? I think I want that to happen. Cremate me and put those, because those little things they do, like, my brother teaches CPR to like a lot of people, and he uses a lot of different songs to show the beats. And I can remember going in for a procedure a couple months ago, and they're just about to knock me out, and it's another one, Bites of Dust. And that, he said, you use that because it's the exact, and look it up. It's Firehouse Chronicles on Insta and Facebook and YouTube, but they show the different songs, like even like the Star Wars, like the Imperial March you can use for CPR.
Right.
And, but I'm like, I'm just about to pass out, and I'm hearing another one, Bites of Dust, and I'm like, oh no,
that's a classic.
But it's those little things that stick in the back of your head, like that. The girl from Ipanema, for some reason, it's always in the movies.
From what?
It's called. I'll have to. I can't use it. If
no.
It'll take.
Just explain it.
Off. It's that dude. I can't even do it. It's
Come on.
It's elevator music, but it's like one of those old ones. But again, I gotta
How
watch
does it go? Wait, how does it go?
I can't, because if I do it, it'll knock us off. It'll be copyright.
No,
It'll
don't
knock
share
us
it.
off
You
of
just
YouTube.
need to sing it for me. Come on.
Yeah,
sing
it's not coming.
Come on, sing it.
There's no songs. It's just like that. It's elevator music. But it's always in the movies before, like, the elevator crashes or they open a door and like the zombies fall in or something like that. So there's those little songs, or like, good old Twisted Sisters. We're not going to take it. For me, that's an important thing. That was the first cassette I had that went with the first Walkman I had, and my brother broke that thing like 3 days after I got it. But I can remember where I was, on vacation. And again, Derek goes back to sense, because back then, I used to swim in banana boat, sunscreen, or not sunscreen, just pure coconut oil when I was young, and probably die of cancer from all the time a lifeguard and being in that stuff. But back in the day, a lifeguard, man, I lived in this stuff. But I can remember those are the scents. It's like I am on vacation when I smell that, and I hate coconuts, but that coconut oil was another story. It's just those little things that remind you of where you're with, who you're with, cruising the beaches at spring break or something.
Yeah. All of our houses, especially back in the day when I was growing up, holy crap, I just made myself sound as old as you. What's up with that? Anyway, my grandparents had such a big garden, my mom's parents, that everybody got stuff. Everyone, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, garlic. Once upon a time, they had corn, basil, fresh basil. And that is the one. All of our houses, especially in the summertime, smelled the same. You walked into ours, my aunt, my grandparents, it all smelled like basil, fresh basil, and the onion. And it was just awesome. Cucumbers. God, they grew so much. I remember potatoes, and even just the smell in general, or even they had wild mustard growing alongside next to the garden. And I remember my grandpa picking it the one time and, just kind of started to eat it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing, Grandpa? And he said, it's mustard. Here, taste it. It's bitter. And I said, oh my God. Like, it's just all those different smells, just smelling, being in the backyard in general. And just as the breeze blows, you can smell everything around you, and it just takes you back.
Then that's an interesting thing too. Do you know broccoli comes from mustard? It's like genetically grown that way or something. It's just really.
What? Back it up.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I saw something the other day that. Hey, Carrie. When in doubt, guys, if you're looking for somebody that really knows Bigfoot stuff, there's a person. She's knows where that stuff is hidden. So.
She's the girl.
Yeah, but yeah, broccoli's in that same feel or family. There's like 3 or 4 stuff that we use all the time that's actually genetically engineered. Well, not genetically engineered, but it's been selectively bred for years. That comes from that mustard seed, or how important mustard is to put on barbecue. So, creepy-base, which reminded me. Well, it reminded me just before this. I was going to make bacon and forgot to get it, so it went back in the freezer. So, folks,
okay,
what's the food? Or what are foods that really jump out at you as something, and again, those different locations. So Lori's she came back from camping with the same site from the last 2 years. She had met Dave's sister for the first time. She passed away less than a year ago. I'm sorry about that. And the whole time she felt she was with it. And again, those are those things. There's a spot I go to, the Adirondacks. That it was the last place I went with my buddy that was one of our research guys, and walking up there. And I know they scattered his, they were talking about doing his last, what am I looking for? Ceremony for him and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I got stuck. I couldn't get away from work to get up there. But, we've gone up since and, said our, goodbyes and everything. But I can still, that every time I'm there, it's just like I can remember him going, "Hey, Mike, there's something touching my car. I'm going to turn some lights on." And as he pops the lights on, I can't see anything because it's that scene out of Close Encounters or,
right.
Okay, deer in the headlights thing. Yeah, I'm like, okay, if it's out there, I'll send the pepper spray out and I'll just close my window because I can't see anything. So I'm not coming out of my car. If there's a bear out there, I'll stumble into it.
Bear and 2 legs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Colette,
sure.
thank you. Get some sleep. We appreciate you tuning in.
Colette. Thank you.
Especially coming from over here and going back
Yeah,
over. Again,
that's crazy. Talk about
guys,
jet lag. Some serious jet lag.
We love you guys and we appreciate you guys. And
yes.
So come on. Everybody wants silent. Everybody wants
stories.
Silent.
I know.
Silent.
Kind
because you know what? You're looking for the answers tonight. Those foods that we're asking about could be what you're looking for as an answer. There's your connection.
Remember, there are many, many, many different ways to receive a message. Just like I explained at the beginning of the reading shows. One thing that we say or somebody else says can mean something to you, and you can have one of those moments tonight. Is that what you're trying to say, Michael?
Yeah, it's the connection we have. It's a connection. It's a universal connection.
Yep.
Let's talk grilled cheese. I'm talking food, but let's talk grilled cheese.
I think you just wanted to find an excuse to talk about grilled cheese.
Yep.
You can't even deny it. Your face is turning red.
No,
you can't even look me in the eye in the camera.
Come on. I grew up where we had to do some stuff, and unfortunately had to stand in those lines to get that government cheese back in the day. And I connect with some kids that had to do the same thing, and how that stuff made the most amazing grilled cheese sandwiches. But now watching some of the high-end cooking shows and stuff, they're making their own quote unquote American cheese. It's just some sodium citrate and milk, and then you add your favorite cheeses and they melt just like some of those big name brand cheeses. And I use it for making grilled cheese or making smoked macaroni and cheese or something. Excuse me. So yeah, it's that
grilled cheese is amazing.
But it's that, yeah. It's
especially when you dip it in tomato soup.
It's that, yeah.
You don't like that, do you?
I hate tomato soup. Got it.
The first time I ever heard that from you, I wanted to smack the shit out of you. You are so un-American. How do you not like tomato soup, especially with your grilled cheese? What is wrong with you? Well, there's a lot. But what is wrong with you?
Some people like cream and mushroom. I like cream and mushroom soup. I mean, so.
Yeah, to cook with it.
Yeah, cook with it. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's when I find the right tomato soup, somebody find me the right tomato soup, but I've yet to see one that either isn't, I don't know, super sweet or super acidic. And,
wow,
see,
picky.
Ham and the
that's good too.
See, but you're altering it from a grilled cheese, but it works. Jeez. We got Carrie getting hungry here, and Becca's had grilled cheese yesterday. Yeah, it's there.
And you have to have good bread. Gotta have the good bread. I mean,
dip the grilled cheese in the soup. All right, yep.
Thank you, Jamie Lynn. I mean, I'll even give you chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you froze.
No, I was
just actually you were like
suspended. It's the Italian thing. I was like,
well. See,
they left me hanging again.
Here's the thing: I can eat meatballs. I can eat eggs in the sauce. The sauce. Sometimes I can't. This is grandma's sauce.
Wow.
All right, here we go.
Palate? Is that what you're trying to tell me,
Melissa? Her daughter got married in San Francisco in June. We stopped at the neighborhood bakery near their new house, and I picked up a mini lemon tart. It tasted identical to my mom's lemon meringue pie. I've had, hadn't had 17 years since she died. I knew my mom/grandma was making her appearance and giving her a blessing at the wedding.
That's amazing.
Thank you. And that is what I mean, guys. It's those little things.
Yeah.
That sometimes we miss. Those little why did we go 5 miles out of the way to get ice cream from this spot when you've passed 3 different places? Becca, her favorite is chicken soup.
Yeah.
I got it. Sonia, hey, you're right on. Doesn't like tomato soup. Gotta have toasted ham and Swiss cheese, not for soup, but Dave. Okay.
I see. I'm not a Swiss cheese person.
No, see,
at all.
and I'm not a ham guy, but ham and Swiss, you gotta have those little things.
You're not a ham guy? Since when?
I only have tomato soup, homemade. Can't make. Yep. It's
Ooh, homemade.
and
Has to be
again.
creamy, though.
So Melissa says, it literally cried with my first bite.
Oh, you know what? I can actually relate to that because not for myself, but a few years ago, for those of you in our area, we have Sam's Club. It's like the big Costco or the BJ's or whatever, the big club stores. And my grandpa, my dad's father, the one who just passed in January, we didn't know a whole lot about his side of the family or his parents. There's not a whole lot that we know about him, not because they weren't around and didn't raise him and he and his brothers. We just don't know a lot. His mother died young or when he was young. And so it was what it was. But my grandpa, anyone who knew that grandpa knew that he was huge on the sweets. Like, especially the older he got, the more he would just eat it. At that point, 80s, 90s, God bless you, eat whatever the hell you want to eat at that point. It doesn't matter. Enjoy your life, right? So we would always get him, any sweets and treats and candies and cookies that he likes. So somebody got him, I don't know if it was my aunt, but somebody bought him at Sam's Club the cornbread, it comes in those big, like this, the big like sheet or half sheet size, and they're cut, right? And you can it's huge. He said,
one man, a whole sheet for one man. Okay.
Oh, you didn't know my grandpa. Yeah, he would have eaten probably a quarter of that in one sitting. And he had no meat on his bones. Go figure. He was 6'3". He was slender. Yeah. Oh my God, that man could put it away. But anyway, he made the comment, which shocked, I think, my aunt who was there at the time, that cornbread reminded him exactly of his mother's. And the way he said, this is what my mother's cornbread used to taste like. She was like floored. It was the coolest thing. So like, talk about making those connections, because we didn't know a whole lot at all about her. And she wasn't necessarily, from what I've heard, the most, not that she wasn't a loving, caring woman, but she did other things besides stay home and cook and clean. There were a few pictures of her in pants, where back in those days, women really weren't wearing pants. Like, she was unconventional and ahead of her time in some ways. And it was just really neat to hear him say, that it tasted just like that, like just from Sam's Club. So, we would get that, and he would tell us the story about how that was like the best. So that's just cool, because that's a memory now we get to have, because it was a connection he made. So it was for all of us a connection to his family, which is something we don't have many connections with that. So.
And again, it's those little things that we're trying to get at. Well, Matt's late, but
fashionably late, Matt.
Matt doesn't go to bed. He'll be texting me at 3:00 in the morning again. It's like, dang, I know who that is. So Matt, just to catch you up, and the folks that just jumped on with us tonight, we're talking spirit messages, but we're talking those delicious memories that have really stuck. So when we're walking around, that smell, that taste, that sound that's really in there, that reminds us our family's there. So everybody's kind of looking for those messages, and sometimes we miss the messages right in front of us. So I really want you guys to think, what smells or what foods have you been craving, and why are you craving those foods?
Share it with us.
So, I mean, we kind of went over the grilled cheese. We went over the bologna.
Tomato salad is another big one for my family, my mom's family. Tomato salad. Oh my God. Fresh tomatoes from the garden, the big beefsteak tomatoes that would come out. And then you chop them up, some fresh green pepper, fresh onion, fresh basil, and good, had to be you Italian people out there, the good olive oil. Okay. Right. There was a good olive oil. And you drown that.
There we
salt, pepper. Oh my God. And then around here, it's DiCamillo's bread. Oh my God.
So Sonia, buttermilk reminds me of my dad and my papa. Again, those little things that we go and, the buttermilk. I mean, it's there. And I started watching a series on Netflix. It was all on a chef's table and stuff like that, and watching those folks go and grab certain things. And there was one that really caught on where the guy was in his grandmother's garden and heard beans and how he's trying to get those beans out there.
Oh my gosh!
And again, we're there. It's. Is there that favorite pie pan or that pot or something like that that we keep that we really don't? Is there that cookie? You guys, I have my own that I do for a lot of cooking stuff, and I got an old beat up sheet pan, and that's the one I got all these beautiful brand new ones. That's what I grab.
Yeah.
Well, they both put pepper. Did they drink the buttermilk straight, or did they use it for cooking? That's kind of interesting. Put pepper in it. I can't stand it in
Really?
buttermilk.
Wow. So
that
you
would
guys,
be a rich. That's something to try. I mean, yeah. Think about it. Okay, I'm talking too much.
go for it. No, that's okay. I was just going to say, share. Post in the chat, or I'm going to put Mike on the spot. Maybe you want to come on and tell your story and share with everybody your memory or your connection. There you go, Michael.
They drank it.
Wow. Okay. Well, teach them.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Laverne likes smoking Pepsi, so
but,
I mean.
But we're talking fresh buttermilk, not this stuff they call buttermilk now that's in the store. So there's a total difference in what it is. I mean, you can sort of make it. So all right, let me grab my little invite thingy here. We'll drop it. We'll drop it in there.
Share your memories and share your connections and your stories.
They did both. Okay. I'm gonna have to give it a shot.
I wonder why. Do you know why? So Sonia, they did that. Did it enhance it? Did it? I don't know. Like, why would they do that?
Huh. That's interesting. It won't let me send the invite on Where's My Sage. Out of all the pages, that's the one it won't let me send it on.
Really?
Yeah.
What's up, Haunted Brian? Brian's in the house.
So, again, okay, they grew up with it. Okay. That time it worked. So, yeah, it's in there. So,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, there's just a little something. Like, I had my wife grab what she thought was going to be bologna when she was grabbing it, but it was actually liverwurst because they didn't have it at the store she stopped at. But again,
liver was the one thing. Talk about a connection.
Liverwurst, not liver.
Okay, but still, liver in general. My mother made us try like everything. You had to at least try it, right? Okay, fine, fair enough. But she couldn't stand liver so much. I remember her telling us the one time, my sister and I, that would be the one thing that she would never force us to try because she hated it so much and she was forced to eat it like a lot of people back in those days on a regular basis. And she hated it. And to this day, I just can't bring myself to try it. I don't know. Oh, you said liver and that came flooding back. See, another connection, another memory, just eat. Yep.
I was forced to eat it, but I learned if you add maple syrup and onions to it, you can hide it.
Did you say put maple syrup?
Maple syrup. Yep, the maple syrup.
What's wrong with you?
Don't ask me how it happened, but it literally will cut the onion taste out of it. So Matt, we are not doing dream analysis tonight, but we are going over scents, smells, and everything else. So if there's food in your dreams, we're going to rock that out. Yes, there's definitely some notes on the...
Just call me. God.
Liver.
Okay, Denise, what do you got?
Yeah, we're going to read that one. Bologna on rye bed. I haven't eaten that in let's see. I have... You're going to talk tonight.
Okay. So Denise says... bologna on rye bread. I have been eating that the past few weeks. My dad sent me to the corner store for half a pound, dropped the package in the street. He was so mad at me. I was about 8. Because I'm sure it was expensive. Well, back then it was.
We're always wondering about where we're getting the messages. Denise, is this show for you tonight? Because we're talking bologna.
Very good, Grasshopper. I'm impressed. A little disturbed.
See?
Pretty impressed.
Liver with bacon and onions. Yep, bacon and onions. Yeah.
Again, or you're killing me.
You're using it to turn around and hide that.
Although I can see the bacon and the onions. I mean, anything's good with onion. Onion, garlic, whatever. But
Hello.
hey, stranger, how are ya? We
See,
missed
she's
you.
agreeing with me.
That's
Hi,
No, she's not agreeing with
Chanel.
you. She was agreeing with the fact that I said it was expensive back then. So if you
Yeah.
dropped the meat like that, it was okay.
See, and again, we're gonna go with what things that go along. So his dad drank coffee with ice cubes, and he got used to having the cold leftover coffee. So I mean,
Aw.
those little things. I mean, but it's just it's those little things that remind us of why we do certain things.
Yeah.
Tomato sandwiches are the best.
Oh yes.
Yes. With the right amount of mayo. So I can eat tomato sandwiches, but I can't eat tomato soup.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
weird.
that's okay. I know some
I
people
hate
who can eat other stuff but can't eat the raw tomatoes too, But
again.
you have to have a good Italian bread for a tomato sandwich, a good Italian bread. And you have to have lots of mayo, salt and pepper, a really ripe, sweet tomato. Oh my God. Or what about good Italian bread with some good olives, drizzled with some olive oil
Yep. Let's see.
and fresh provolone cheese? Oh my God.
Shayna, her aunt made handmade scalloped potatoes. They were so amazing and full of cheese. Yes, toasted bread.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, we're going back here. Good old man. He's got peanut butter on
Oh,
pancakes and
I've
waffles.
done that. Yes,
Yep.
I have done that. Yes, sir.
See, we are connecting. The bologna. You guys were looking for a
Yes.
message. It's
Yes.
right here tonight. Bologna. I'm telling you, you
Yep.
don't eat it out, but you're at home, and
You eat
that's
it.
the thing that just brings you that yellow mustard and just goes. So Lori's got how about bologna and butter sandwiches? Mother's favorite.
Actually, I remember eating that when I was little. But then I grew out of having butter on my sandwiches and went to having mayo. And you know what's funny is I was in middle school, junior high, and she hates when I say this, my oldest, but my longest friend in the whole wide world. Her mom always put mayo and mustard on the bread. So that's a memory I have with them. And I remember the first time I had it where she actually made the sandwiches for us because we always usually did our own if we were doing something like that. We were on her boat. We were on their boat going out for the day, and she had made all these sandwiches. And I bit into it, and I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "My mom always makes it like this." I said, "I don't remember that. We've been friends since we were 5." But that's another. I'll always miss Kaposi. I'll always remember her for that. That will always be, and time I get to spend with their family too. Just and brings me back to that point in my life, and still have that. But yeah, very cool.
You said she had to rewrap the bologna when she got home. Yes, you can put any condiment on bologna. I've even seen peanut butter and bologna sandwiches.
Say that again.
Peanut butter and bologna sandwiches.
None of my worst, most pregnant day would I do that. And I've had 3. Okay, 3. There's no freaking way peanut butter on bologna.
It works. It's like
How that was
like
it a drunk frat night for you or something? I had to have been
no
a drunk frat
poor
night
kid, no poor kid, no condiments.
Oh.
But like, hey, I'm just going with it. You can put any condiment on bologna. See, I'm getting backed up here, and that was there before that came out of my mouth.
What about Italian dressing?
I can't do Italian dressing.
Wait, what? No, I meant on bologna. You can't do Italian dressing, period?
Oh, I can if I'm liking it as a marinade. Caesar, Greek, it's a
thing. I guess I never noticed it. All the meals we've had to go out and.
First of all, catching me eat a salad in the first place is.
That fair point. Fair point. Okay, I'll give you that.
And to go back to the liver and onions, Chanel spent a whole night at the table with her grandmother refusing to eat liver. She even tried to make me eat it for breakfast. I wasn't allowed to eat at her house for a month. Syrup. Again, try it with maple syrup.
That reminds me of Elf. The movie Elf, you put syrup on everything. And I love syrup. I love my sweets. But oh my God, there's just no way. No way.
Syrup, cinnamon. You can do everything you need to do with those 2 condiments. You can get through everything.
Somebody else and I, we were just talking to Brianna and I forget who else it was. I want to say my sister was there too. We were telling some of the kids that we used to eat the Oscar Mayer hot dogs raw. My mom used to just have them in the fridge and we would pull them out and just eat them raw, especially in the summertime. Do you remember? Did you ever do that?
I did not, but recently I saw there's a company that's actually packaging like sliced hot dog bites.
Really?
Yeah. So like, and they're not really designed to be reheated or something like that. They're bites in a bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. But they were like, Brianna was appalled. She was like, oh my God, how do you eat a raw hot dog? I said, well, it's
All
not like
right.
the Sneelands.
You win there. 8 frozen hot dogs.
Whoa. Mine were at least thawed.
All right. Another one right out of the fridge.
That's right. That's an 80s kid thing. It had to have been. You know what I mean? It was just like you just did because
like
it tasted, but
the
Oscar
trend with
Mayer
the
tasted
topping.
just like the bologna. So whether you're buying the package of the bologna, right, or you're eating the hot dog, it was the same damn thing. Right.
Tomatoes are nasty.
Becca.
All right.
More for me.
Here's another one I'm going to let you read because it's a long one.
And you just don't want to have to pronounce that word.
I know I can.
I know you.
I can pronounce that one.
Pasta fagioli. Well, it depends on how pasta fagioli is how I say it. But is my favorite meal. My friends never heard of it, but when they tried my mom's, they loved it. They would swarm my house when she made it. Yeah, because I've seen it made a few different ways. Like my grandma makes it different than like Olive Garden, and I've seen other people make it differently from them. So I mean, really, I think it's just the beans and the meat and the macaroni together, seasoned however. But
I think it's the thing is that when we get done this week or we're thinking about cooking meals this week, find that one that's a tribute to the family member. What we're looking for. So from Michelle, grew up in West Virginia, and my dad would take me for pop and fried bologna sandwiches at the country store. See, again, it's a bonding food. There's a little restaurant. There's 2 of them up here, and then I used to be out with my friends, and late at night, and they would go for the freaking fried bologna sandwiches.
Yeah.
Peanuts in her soda. Never tried that. But again,
I've never even heard of that. Why would she do that?
Let's see. She's from down south. I like boiled peanuts. I haven't been able to eat boiled peanuts, but a lot of people love them. So
bologna is a hot dog pancake. Oh, put this one up.
Oh yeah. Bologna is a hot dog pancake. Dude,
it's a circle.
It was on Facebook today. I did not see this. Was yesterday. Literally, look at the menu and say, "Man, I really want fried bologna sandwich, but I want something a little more stable than a fried bologna sandwich."
It was a true dilemma for him last night, you guys. When we had to go for dinner, it was. He's like, "Oh, I don't know."
Again, it's the smell of fried. It just brings back great memories of I made it for the guys I lived with in college. It was one of those things, man, cold day, come in from outside traveling. It was, that just those little things that we. So again, I want you guys to take a deep breath. I put a thing in there. If you guys want to come on and talk about a food that brings back or something you smelled or tasted, you guys are looking for those messages. Those messages are right there in front of you tonight.
Mm-hmm. Make those connections. I'm getting touched on my head right here.
Okay, Mom was from Detroit, and her dad moved down south. So
very cool. Yeah, another thing that I used to do, especially when the microwaves came out, is I always loved my pepperoni on the pizza crispy. Love when it was overdone, not burned, but overdone, so it was kind of powdery and like just had that nice little crunch to it. So I used to, and my mom would only ever really buy the stick pepperoni. She wouldn't buy, we had to slice our own. So I would slice it, and then I would put it on napkins to drain the grease, and I would put it on a plate in the microwave, and I would just cook the crap out of it. So there were these little crispy pieces of meat. It was so I ate so many of them. I think I made like 3 platefuls one day. And I don't mean like stacked. I mean like you have to put them flat. So you're only getting like 10 Plus you had to cut it. You had to take the skin off of it and whatever else. But oh my God, I got so sick. It was so good though.
So you say cheese 3 times, and the guy from Wisconsin shows up. Good
What's
evening,
up,
Jay. Heat up hot dogs.
Okay, so here's another thing. Do we grill a hot dog? Do we fry a hot dog? Or the way my dad used to do it, he microwaved his hot dogs and he got all of my kids to like it that way. It was disgusting. Now, I'm not saying that on occasion I hadn't done that, but I mean, like he did it just enough so the skin was still rubbery, and all 3 of my kids growing up were like, oh yeah, this is the best. Or he would boil it. I flat out freaking refused
Dirty
to
water
boil a
dogs?
hot dog for him. What's that?
So do we, Jay says. So
I'm telling you. So what do? Do we grill them? Do we fry them? Or do we microwave them?
if it's the summer, we grill them. That's the family, the friends, the get together, that bonding. The dirty water dog is you're out with your friends in the middle of the night, and that's what you get is the dirty water dog. You know?
What? What? No, you're gonna have to go into it more.
The dirty water dog is a boiled hot dog. It's on the grill. It's the little cart. The dirty New York City dirty water dogs. You know, it's what it is. And you know, if you're running late, yes, you can throw them in the microwave. And Jay says, put it in 4 minutes, turn it into a dog treat. Yes. I've used them quite a bit for dog training over the years.
Yeah, my dad, 30 seconds on each side. Perfect. Done. He was happy.
Done in the air fryer.
Okay.
Boiled hot dogs.
Okay.
Fried and split. Yep. Yeah, Lori, you and I we're over here. We're in hot dog land over here. You know,
it's Sealand's over here though. What do you have?
Yeah, Zweigel's over here.
Those are okay.
Zweigel's on the guard. Well, see,
they're not Sealand's though.
Those.
Come on, where are my Buffalo people?
But a white hot from Zweigel's. See 2 of them on a garbage plate.
Garbage plates, they're okay. I don't see the hype though. I don't get the hype.
I haven't had a good one.
Well, you're the one who took me to get one in the first place. Yeah, so whose fault is that then?
I don't go to the original anymore. Just don't go in the neighborhood.
Okay, well then shame on you.
All right, we got another vote. We got another vote for boiled hot dogs.
I'm waiting for a sign from my father to say, "See, I told you so." I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. So here's another thing my dad would eat, right?
I'm sorry. I'm going to read Chanel's in a minute. I got to save
my dad, talk about butter and sandwiches. That's all he ever ate. My father was a very bland, no seasoning. Any seasoning at all was like salt and pepper. Growing up, my mom would mix our salad. We didn't really have salad dressing. My mom mixed it. So olive oil, vinegar, seasoning. That's how the whole family ate the salad. My dad would not eat the seasoning. He didn't like it. It gave him agita. So my mom would always have just oil and vinegar, and that's how he ate it. Drizzled on his own little dish, and that's how he ate it. It was hysterical. My dad had very, very bland, very, very bland. But he would always eat, to the day he died, white bread, butter on one side, a thin layer of butter on one side, ham, 1 slice of American cheese, a couple slices of ham. Boom. He was happy as a clam. He'd be like, good. This is so good. That makes you happy, Dad. That's great. Fantastic. Oh yeah. It was interesting.
Now I know we are rocking it out. And see, Lori's got it up. Yep, White Hots are the best.
What is a white hot? Explain to me what a white hot is as opposed to a hot dog.
It's all pork, so it's white. So it'd come out with sausage. So
I did not know that. Okay.
So from Melissa, I still microwave them for me, or just boiled water if I'm making a package for chili dogs.
Ooh.
All right.
Guess you're killing me with this tonight.
Denise is gonna go with a foot long from Ted's.
Okay. There you go.
Yep, that's there. We can go on.
Yep.
And then Melissa says, "No, this will kill you. Mom used to cut them up, put them on homemade pizza on Saturday nights. Chef Boyardee. Yep. I've seen them cut up and put in pasta.
Well, I
Hot
mean,
dogs on the dogs.
hotteroni, my kids like it cut up like with and mac and cheese for hotteroni,
Yep.
or even in pork and beans. We used to put it in pork and beans. Do you guys remember that? That was a total 80s thing. That was definitely, God, I forgot about that until just now. Oh my God. So yeah, we used to, because back when pork and beans were good, well, back when all of this stuff was good. Like I would not let my kid eat a raw hot dog today just because everything is different and it's not like it used to be, but that's hysterical. And Chef Boyardee, yeah, I love that. That was one of the few things my mom would
It's
buy. That
very
was canned.
interesting. The
My
whole
mom didn't buy
story.
all that stuff. We had everything made, homemade. Our dinners consisted of a meat, a salad, and some sort of vegetable side. We didn't have we had rice and stuff, but not like all the different kinds. It was rare. She just did it all. She just cooked it all.
Winky Dinks. We ate things called Winky Dinks. Honestly, I didn't know what was in them. They were bigger than a hot dog, but smaller than a sausage. You get them plain or hot. Eat them cold. That shop no longer open. Never heard of Winky Dinks. I have to look that one up. That sounds like a little run on the net later.
He's gonna be chomping at the bit to be able to look that up.
It's just all right. So I got to go up to this one from Chanel. My grandparents got a microwave when I was little, and it was huge. It weighed 100 pounds. For some reason, I put a frog in it and exploded. My ass would be really bad. I can still remember the pain of it. My dad had to buy her a new one, which I remember was like $600 back in '79. Now,
oh my God.
You bring up putting crazy things in a microwave. I don't know if I got that crazy, but I still remember my grandparents getting like one of the first ones that was on the market because my grandfather worked in construction big contractor. So, he flipped houses and started up, and they had this beautiful house and walnuts out front. So we're like, I wonder if this thing, if we heat it, it heats things up, we can make the walnuts go faster. So we put a green walnut inside. Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Scared the bejesus out of us when that thing blew up.
Oh my God.
Oh man. And dent the inside of that thing. And it was a not digital. And you're watching that boom. So my grandma was awesome because then let's get some eggs. And we just started sticking everything we could find in the freezer and fridge.
Your grandmother?
Oh yeah. She was cool.
That explains a lot. It really does.
We're having fun. I mean, literally,
okay, that cleared up a whole lot for me.
These were one of the first. It was one of the first ones on the market, and somebody tried to sell him one. To put in all the new homes he was building, and yeah, I think it was rocking. But again, today I watched somebody turn around to a fried egg. On the gram. Put it on two paper plates, or put it on a paper plate with a little oil, and minute perfect fried eggs. Put one on top. Put on the paper plate on top. Like, I'm gonna try.
Is it goopy on top though?
No,
because I don't like that goopy runny crap.
No, it was. Ugh. All right, let's see.
You know how hard it is to get your inside up egg to be that way.
Cheese,
Excuse me, sorry. Pork and beans. I'm telling you, that was the best because my father loved those too. Pork and beans, not baked beans. God forbid. No, it had to be pork and beans. Yeah, but they were good. You eat them now and they just taste, everything is just so cheap and they just changed everything. Like not okay.
Chanel, if it was a wood front on it, it's probably that same tune-in. I think it was a Lytton or something. I'd have to go take a look and see what it was. I mean, this is a gazillion years ago.
Wow.
So that house was out in the middle of nowhere. Kool-Aid, again. I was walking through the store and, they had they're getting ready to do the spin up for the new Ghostbusters. So they brought ectoplasm back out again, or ecto cooler.
Yep.
Your voice sounds so weird, like you're on an old record player. Does everybody else hear me weird tonight?
Do I get to comment or should I just
keep it to myself?
Hi, Rhonda. Hey, girlie. Oh my gosh.
What do we got here? You got Dave with hot dogs and beans, but I like hamburger in my beans. Okay.
Hamburger in your beans.
Never tried that.
That's interesting.
Well, that's chili, isn't it?
Yeah. But technically, from what
Bean
I keep
soup.
being told by my son-in-law, who does not like beans in his chili, does not really have beans. That's not real chili. Real chili doesn't have beans.
No, it is not. And don't ever put apples in your chili. That will really freak out the chili judges.
Who the hell puts
I
apples?
did that once.
Of course you did. What was the inspiration behind that?
I entered a chili competition. I wanted to do something a little different. And like I said, I'm not a big tomato guy. Well, you can do some swaps with different vegetables and stuff like that.
Right.
Like you can mess with zucchini and make like
apples,
applesauce.
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you use a hard enough apple or a firm apple, and you cut it up and you put it in at the end, you get the sweetness from the apple, and you still get a similar texture to the tomatoes. And it freaks people out because they get a sweet chili and it cuts down on the acidity from the apple, and you still have pectin from the apple, so you get a little thickener in there. But when you tell them you put apples in there, totally freak out. It's awesome. It works.
I don't know. And well, you know, what's up with the cereal too? Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. Trix, Fruit Loops, all those different cereals. Captain Crunch is still pretty true to what it was. It's just smaller. They just made them smaller. But like those fruity flavored corn flavored fruity cereals that used to be the bomb on a Saturday morning.
They're horrible.
Oh my God, they're awful. Horrible.
The only thing left is the crunch. They have not messed with the crunch.
Yeah, but they're also smaller, and it's almost like it's like especially the Trix. It's like the hard, you know, when you bite into a corn thing, you know, like a corn cereal, and you get, you know, that hard piece, that little round hard thing. That's just too hard to bite through because it kind of solidified. You know what I'm talking about? It's like they're all like that now.
Yeah, well, no, I got some crunch in the other room, and the only thing that's probably made it smaller because, you know, it'll just eat the inside of your mouth out like sandpaper, but you know, there's nothing.
That's the fun of it. Ugh.
So
no, they made it smaller because they cheapened everything up.
Spam with a key.
We never did spam in my house.
Yep, there's a couple of cans of spam in the other room. So Apple Jacks. I have not had Apple Jacks in a while.
Apple Jacks. Okay. Yeah. We got some of the good ones, but we didn't get
corn
all
toast.
The good ones. I know. And you know the thing that kills me is they're putting more preservatives into this stuff. And they're let the kids have the sugar because the sugar is better than all the chemicals and preservatives they're putting in. I know they're trying to get away from all that too, but it's like in order to preserve this stuff and to make it in the first place, they have to be putting something into this food. So what's the lesser of two evils, you know?
I don't know. I want to know how many people have connected to their family members right now. You know, we're talking about, yep. I mean, it's just it. I mean, and again, this wasn't to get us, you know, away from
Crystal Light. Yes. Like I said, Crystal Light. Sorry. That's all in Janine's house. My friend I was talking about earlier. Oh my God. That's what they had all the time. My mom didn't buy any of that stuff that had artificial sweetener in it. So that was like a treat for me because I really liked it.
Yeah, you got to add about 6 gallons of water to like this much Crystal Light, you know.
I know, but it's good.
That's like the never-ending glass of something.
It's good though. Raspberry ice. Remember the raspberry ice that came out? Oh, it was so good.
It's got aspartame. No.
I know. Hey, I'm gonna die of something.
Come on. I know somebody.
Aw, thank you, Sonia. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. So she's got to go. She says, thanks for the memories. I've connected with some. Good. That's what. Good. Tab soda. I have not.
I forgot all about that.
I can't even remember the last time I had a tab. But then that goes to Joke Cola. I mean, how many people had Joke Cola or those sodas that are close?
RC.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had an RC in probably 15 years. I still see it out.
We were in
Delicious Mike. Okay, we got to go back and find out what Becca said. Okay, Crystal Light.
Which thing? Okay, I was gonna say. So I took Bree antiquing a couple weeks ago, right? And we're walking through some of the antique shops, and there was the bottles, the glass bottles of the pop that would be like this and stand like this, Yep. You have to pop the top off. There was an empty RC Cola bottle in one of the little, what do they call them, pods. And I just, in passing, I was like, oh, RC Cola. And Bree's like, what's that? What do you mean, what's that? They forget it really has not been around, and
no, I think you still can get it locally. So,
really?
Remember Pop? It was a spray you put in water. I don't remember Pop. Wegmans Pop. No. Yoo-hoo.
Oh, yuck. I never liked Yoo-hoo. And people loved it. People absolutely loved it. Ugh. It was just chocolate water is what it was. I don't know what the craze was. Ugh, that's a good one.
You can still get RC on, you can get it at Amazon. You can get it on Instacart.
You can get anything on Amazon.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's still out there. Tops, Big Lots, all the big stores have got it still.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Diet Right. Oh my God.
The Diet Right. Oh. No.
So, I mean, there's just those little things that see up.
Yes, Melissa.
You can get it here. Sundrop Soda is made here in Shawano, Wisconsin. Fresh slices of lemon in a bottle there. That's kind of cool.
Huh.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. Look up Sundrop. So sprayed it in my mouth. So Pop we're not gonna touch.
Right. Pop's a no-go.
Melissa, I'm so old. We had packaged Kool-Aid. You added enough sugar, it would rot your teeth, and when freeze the ice. Yep. Make your
Girl, I'm right there with you. Yes, so we did that. Absolutely. Yepper. And it always had to be 2 cups of sugar.
Lori, have a great one, and thank you for tuning in tonight.
Bye,
hey,
Lori.
You can try some of these crazy things with your granddaughter while you're there,
Yep.
Yeah, let's make these memories and get them out to our friends and stuff like that,
Because it's a never-ending cycle. We get to share, they make the connections. We make those connections with people that we love and have lost. And hopefully by doing these, we have to remember everything we do is going to reflect with somebody else someday as well when we're not here, and so we plant those seeds and it just continues to go on.
Yeah. I mean, there's.
Yep. That's right. Yes. Johnny Ryan. And that's my Aunt Sandy.
I have never heard
called
of Johnny.
You Aunt. I want it known right now. I just put it on live that I called you Aunt. Sorry, I had to get that out there. It's a never-ending thing. But yeah, Johnny Ryan is right in our area too, which is awesome. That was really good.
Oh, it's pure cane sugar?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys got it. I have my second screen up because I'm always so wax bottles of cool. I don't remember wax bottles, but I remember the wax bottle candy.
Yeah. Yes.
And it was out in Indiana at the factory, and they had those, and the candy cigarettes.
Yes.
But that's just it. Finding some of those nickel or the penny candies and that kind of thing are awesome.
So cool. Yes.
Sandy, thank you for joining us.
Whatever.
Don't ever back to
Whatever. Don't encourage her. No.
Okay, this place is
Backstory. She's my mom's sister, but I remember back when I was little, she still lived at home along with my 2 uncles. And so every time we would sleep over there, she would do really cool, fun stuff. Not that I don't love my other aunt, but she was like, she was younger. She was like the fun, whatever, take us places. She even had like a little funny song.
Well, now she's got it on recording. You're not going to be able to go to any family reunion anymore.
Family reunion. She lives 5 minutes from me. I don't need a family reunion for her she'll be texting me. See? No, but we stopped for whatever reason. When we got a little older, we stopped calling her Aunt Sandy. And then she always says, how come you never call me Aunt Sandy, but you call Aunt Rosemary? It's because we we respect and love her to death. But she was always just that aunt. I mean, I don't call, because we still can see her she played with us. She was still like in our eyes, a kid growing up or, a teenager or whatever, young adult in the house living with grandma and grandpa. So we saw them, be mom and dad to them, and then they were grandma and grandpa to us. So that's just, I don't know. Like I said, we have a very large family with overlapping generations. And so the joke is, once a year for her birthday, I always say, happy birthday, Aunt Sandy. Here's your annual. So she got it twice this year now. So you should be good.
All right.
So, yeah. Oh.
All right. There's a long one here. I'll let you read that one.
Okay. Would you like me to read this? So a couple weeks ago, you said that my grandfather is watching over me and that my daughter will be a C-section baby. Oh, you are 100% right. I had her last night and we had to have her C-section because she was high. Oh, she was sunny side up. Oh my God, congratulations. And thank you so much for the confirmation on that. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you're all healthy and well, and I'm glad that she's here. I wish you all the best. Thank you for that. Sunny side up. I love that. Oh
Hi,
my
Mike.
gosh.
She's worried about being late. It's like the middle of the night. So
hi, Mike.
Bless you for popping in.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Yeah. Yeah. So, love you too.
And then penny candies. There's a corner store, 10 cents, get a bag full of candy. Yeah, there's 2 places that were, placed by me by a kid. But then again, the local amusement park you could ride your bike to still and still get in. And then they shut it down and then started charging like $50 for admission where you went in for free.
Yeah, you had to pay normally to get in, but you could buy the penny candy in the candy store. Yeah.
So I got some congratulations here. So
wonderful.
She says she's not going to sing this time.
Oh, she posted the coolest thing. She actually played a song with like the original person singing it, and then she sang the second voice. She has such a pretty voice. Oh my gosh, awesome. I enjoyed listening to it.
And you didn't share it with me? Again, guys, I'm horrible about getting on Facebook. I spend more time on Insta. I got 4 different Instagrams to follow. I got 5 different Facebooks to follow. It's and then look at it and follow them for work too. And so I apologize. Yeah, it's just, guys, I really just we miss. We're in such a rush now that we really do miss those little things and those little things that we should be passing around for the next generation. The Italian cookies or the pierogies or there's the homemade soups. Those traditional dishes that spending time with family making sausage or something like that. Like I said, food tends to bring us to our families. I guess that's kind of sometimes where's my sage kind of popped in was where we're at. I did some food stuff back in the day. There's some other shows that are doing some cooking with their shows, but we miss sometime. What do you think Bigfoot eats? So the blueberries up there.
Yeah, blueberries.
Yeah. Blueberries, venison.
Anything you leave out for them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff that's out there that folks don't realize. There's a lot of herbal medicinal books. There's a lot of plants that we don't eat, sorry, that just kind of flung me back to, the Mel show. And we've had a couple of, survivalists on there. There's some stuff out there that we don't really realize. There's wild garlic, there's wild carrots, blueberries, blackberries. There's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I took the wild blackberries out of the yard and turned them into a barbecue sauce. So, I mean, what you can find in nature, there's a lot of stuff that we don't realize. There's, the inside of pine bark and, all those are herbal things that sometimes we just kind of miss. Micah, if it's on yours, I will go take a quick look.
I'll make sure he does.
Yes, I definitely will before I before I crash tonight.
You have the best of intentions. That's not the problem.
Yeah, I get lost. Thank God I don't trust TikTok, so I don't get on TikTok. But
I just recently signed up, and I'm just kind of watching right now.
yeah,
And
well,
I'm waiting to see.
there's a lot of
I'm
places around the
learning to
world that
navigate it.
I think
Yeah.
was it Great Britain or something like that. They're saying, hey, don't use it at all because they're just taking all your data. But and who knows? This all this, but now that my numbers are going to drop after saying that. But
hey, you're not hacking it. I mean,
but I get on Insta and I get lost on Instagram. You know,
he's looking through the headlines with all the different wonderful and amazing videos he can watch. He's seriously like a 5-year-old boy. It really is funny to watch him sometimes. I tried having a conversation with him yesterday during a break, and I was like, you know what? Forget you. I'm done. What? I'm listening. No, you're not. Just whatever.
Well, you know, some of the sounds, you can take some of the songs and put them on some other people's faces and videos and really have some fun with them. So yeah,
it's great. So, well, you guys, I hope you made some connections tonight, and I really hope that this spoke to you, this topic, and the way we tried to approach it. It was fun for us to talk about it and to come up with it, and it just really helped us as much as we hope it helped you to relive some happy memories and make those connections, and then be more aware so that you can have those moments when spirit's around, and you can have that moment with somebody that you miss or receive a message that they're trying to give to you.
Like I said, there's liverwurst in the other room, not bologna, but that just tells me somebody else was watching over that I'm supposed to be eating a liverwurst sandwich. So I'm going to toast up some liverwurst. I don't have some onion to throw on it. Thank God. No, I didn't say Limburger. That's a whole nother night, a whole nother story. Liverwurst is it's a sausage. It's more of a patty sausage, and or not patty, so pate, not patty. Limburger is the stinky cheese.
Right.
Limburger, when I smelled something in the woods once, that's the closest I could. When somebody's like, "Oh, I think that's Bigfoot" or something like that. That's the only time I said that stinks. And the only thing I could equate it to was Limburger cheese, which gets stuck to everything. It's like nasty. Brie really sticks to things, but Limburger really, So stinky cheeses.
I love my cheese, so that's okay. That's good.
There you go. Food. Self-heal. Heal can be made into a cheese used for years in the yard as a weed.
Okay.
So, I mean,
interesting.
There's a lot of stuff that we need.
That we don't,
And we have to go back to the basics with food. Yes.
You know what? And you guys should check out, and this is a shameless plug, but you absolutely need to do this because it's important. So go check out Her Sanctuary on Facebook. They do, and yes, it's my cousin, that's no secret, but she is a breast cancer survivor. And one thing they just posted today was they do a farm to table series, because she is a firm believer that what she put into her body helped to not only heal but keep her in remission for, I believe she's on year 17 now. So it's really important, and because all these stories I'm talking about, we have a section of land out in the country here where it was all family land. So when I talk about the gardens, I mean literally there was the main farmhouse, and then all of my grandma and her siblings have or had their houses right around there. And so all of our families were always all together, and they all had gardens, and they all, we got together and we had all these foods and these memories, made these memories. But it's true, going back to basics and really, learning what you're putting in your body and what it can do for you, or what it's doing that you don't want it to do for you. It's huge. So it's called Her Sanctuary. Definitely check them out on Facebook. It's absolutely wonderful. And they do classes, and they do different hands-on events with that. And you can learn, to cook the different foods. You eat it right there. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, and she's got a lot of really cool, well, that's not jewelry. I was going to say trinkets, not trinkets. It's jewelry and stuff like that. I mean, you're always looking for special stuff. I've been there a couple of times, gotten a lot of stuff for some family members. And it's cool. But I mean, and that's just it. We have again, part of our journey, what we see, like you're going to be doing some live readings at the Gardener's Cottage in Geneseo, New York, coming up, and our friend Shannon, and she's an acupuncturist, but all into medicinal herbs and natural products and teas and that kind of thing. And again, it's the stuff that we really look at, that you really got to look at. We're missing some of that traditional stuff. So I mean, I've gone back to doing my own bacons and stuff, so I could take less than the nitrates and stuff. So I got to use some of that stuff or celery salt to kind of preserve it. But I mean, it's just some things that we really need to look at in looking at the teas. And
absolutely.
So, and a good old cup of chicken soup is good for the soul.
Absolutely.
So, as the book says,
100%. I love it. And yes, for anybody, before we wrap everything up, if anyone is interested and you're in the Buffalo, Niagara, Geneseo, Rochester area, or the surrounding areas, I will be in Geneseo on August 20th. At Genesee Acupuncture, and I will be, excuse me, doing private readings, and I do have some openings. So if you'd like, I will be up in that area. I do it once a month. It's about an hour and a half from me, so I go and spend the day with Shannon and spend the day at her.
But it's a Saturday, and if you're over that way, make a day of it, because there's Letchworth State Park, which is a huge, awesome area. If you're into paranormal, there's Boyd Parker, which is the bottom of the hill. In that Geneseo areas where we had Chris Cesare on, talking about his story, so you can kind of follow his trail a little bit. It's just, but Letchworth is awesome. It's the Grand Canyon to the east, so you're up in Western New York. It's an amazing getaway for the day.
It's such a nice area.
See it now, and then come back in October or September when the leaves change. It's absolutely beautiful nature center where there's just a lot of history over this way. So
it's amazing. So if you wanted to schedule a reading, just give me a call.
That's awesome. Chanel's doing a special tea, and it's helping her out. So again, some of those teas really help us out. So
I'm telling you, a lot of different natural fruits and vegetables work wonders for cancers and long-term or chronic illnesses. We just don't know about it. You have to educate yourselves. It's amazing. So all right. Well, this was fun tonight. It was so much fun. Well, having everybody, share with their stories and their experiences.
Nobody came on with us, but hey,
that's all right.
But this is part of our journey, guys. And we said we were going to kind of bounce away. We got a couple of guests that we're working on coming on soon. I think we're going to bring our friend Greg Walter back, and he's got some, we were his first podcast, so he'd like to come back and talk about his story. He's an awesome dude. And, we started talking to a lot of people in his production crew. We got some other folks that we're going to work on trying to get on.
Yeah.
We're going to do some events with some folks, get out with some local groups. But each of those days that we come together, like today, and we do appreciate you guys.
And I just want to say too, as far as, because there's a question in here, you can access, even if you're not in the Buffalo area or around here, their jewelry line and some of their lines and their product are all over the country. They also do online orders, so you can go right to their website or their Facebook page. You can call there. You don't have to be here in order to talk to them. There you go. So I put it in the chat room because somebody asked. It's called Her Sanctuary in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, it's an awesome spot. It really, truly is. And
that's where I do some of my gallery readings as well. So, All right, everybody. Well, I hope this really stays with you, sticks to your ribs.
Yep.
With all the baloney talk that we had tonight.
I mean, that's just it. Go when you're in that supermarket, think about what you get, and again, grab those relatives, get them together for dinner, And I'm not talking Thanksgiving or, holiday dinner where you want to choke everybody. I mean, just sit down with a good dinner and, and again, those memories come too, Your crazy
it's
Uncle
great.
Lou in the corner, passed out from too much turkey, or, the
Turkey. We
drunk
love
uncle
it.
falling over the table, at 4th of July. I mean,
Yeah.
those are the things we talk about,
Absolutely.
So,
All right. Well, we hope you have a wonderful week. We will see you back here in a couple of weeks. Please enjoy the rest of your summer. We don't have a lot left. Praying for an extension on that. The winters are way too long around here. So, anything else, Michael?
no, love you guys. We appreciate you guys being with us. So,
Yes, we can't do this without you.
I'm gonna
So
go
we
make
love
a
you
bologna
guys.
or liver
Appreciate
sandwich.
you.
Liver sandwich.
What's that commercial that was Sandra Bullock and she has to take the it's for the new movie and she has to pull the leeches off of Channing Tatum's back and she's like it's just gagging as she's doing it. You haven't seen that? Every time you say liverwurst, I just want to sorry, I can't.
Good.
You enjoy that. All right, everybody. Until next time, stay safe.
And sample on.
Good night.